Hi guys, it's Jen again, and I don't know why I feel the need to say that since usually you're at my page, you know it's me, but whatever. This is based on an idea that somebody left on my giveaway video. I asked everybody to tell me what they'd like to see on YouTube, maybe particularly on my channel or just in general. And one of the comments was more old projects, and they suggested like my December daily, which isn't really that old. I just finished it, but the idea of completed projects, things that we've done, ways we have used things in the past, kind of made sense to me. We see what we're doing now, but I think it was, I'm never going to remember who, so never mind. But they showed scrapbooks they made last year. And I think it's nice because it makes you go back and look at what you've done, and it gives you a chance to kind of show some techniques or maybe help somebody who's just starting who, at one point we didn't have all this stuff. I still don't have all the stuff that some of you have, that's for sure. But I do have a lot more than I used to. And this first album that I'm going to show you is from 2006. I was a college student still, and it was the year I graduated from college. And it is pretty basic. I had, some pattern paper, some plain colored paper, some stickers, and that was about it. So this is the first page, and this is from New Year's Eve 2006. There's the hubby and I. He was not the hubby then, just the fiance. We were about 10 months away from getting married at this point. And we were in Raleigh, North Carolina at the acorn drop, which is what it says here. I had this circular picture of the acorn, and then I just made the circles to go around it because I did have a circle tracer. That was high tech then. And they drop an acorn instead of like the ball like in New York City. And this was the pin that year that said, sorry about the glare. They're in page protectors just because I didn't want to take them all out. I'm kind of lazy, guys. Anyway, it says I'm here and it shows the acorn dropping. So I just took the pin back off and stuck that in the middle of the page to give it A, some dimension, and B, it was that regalia. It was something that was from then. And this was one of those pre-made stickers that's kind of cheesy. And I put it on a piece of green paper, cut it out, and stuck it on the page. I think I'm going to have to do 2 videos with this because I actually have 2 albums to show you. They aren't very involved because I seem to never be able to finish a project like this. So that's why mini books and cards have been so appealing to me. But I'm going to go back to this because looking through these to get ready to show them to you has been really inspiring. This is one of those clear stickers. It has a little bit of dimension. And this is us in New York City in February 2006. We saw Spam a lot. This is another one of those stickers because I only had one picture from that part of the day. Over here I had actually 3 more pictures. But I added some stickers that I had about Broadway and such. I took this picture of the outside of the theater. I like to do that so that the outside of the place shows so I remember where it happened. And this is actually one of those cutouts, and Scott has his head stuck through there, so that was funny. And this was just part of the building, so it made for a good page. There was a Super Bowl party that year, so I listed who came, little gemmy stickers on the end, the cheap kind, and took my one picture. A lot of times I don't have a lot of pictures of things, but if I have 1 or 2, this was friend's stag and shower, and we went, and here's the bride talking, here's the groom talking to somebody. I didn't have a good picture of them together, but hey, they're both there. It reminds me we went. This is us there, and so it still has that memory. Here I took one of those, they have the long vellum strips that have sayings on them. They're just rectangular. And I don't really use those so much anymore, but this was really cute. I put it on paper, I cut the wave, I punched holes, I put curling ribbon through because that's the only ribbon I had at the time. And it's a nice little embellishment. All of these green circles on the page, here's what the whole page looks like. Actually, it's a 2-page spread, so you can kind of see. All of those green circles I cut out. I cut out the little circles and stuck them on there so it looked like pattern paper. It worked, I have these little gems that I put in the corner, the saying, the heart sticker, a rub-on that I then cut around, put on another piece of paper and cut around it again. It's not very high-tech, it's not what we do now, but it works. Here's a page, one of my best friends got married, and so I took some pictures and I put little, labels telling what each picture was. Here, she was midway through getting her nails done and they had these long, bangs on, basically. not fangs, those are your teeth, claws. That would be the word I'm looking for. And I had written, Matt was her husband to be. I wrote Matt Beware. Just something silly. And this is a case where the picture wasn't very good. It's the one picture I took on our girls' night out the night before the wedding. And it's all blurry and it's crazy looking, but, it was a fun night out. The girls had drinks and it kind of does show what the night was about. So I used it so that I would have something to commemorate that. And I wrote a little note about what happened. And all of this is drawn on with a silver pen, again. And this is my friend Jack getting ready to get married. And I have 2 blank pages because I don't have any of her wedding pictures in here. Shh, don't tell. On this page, I took pattern paper, this swirly blue paper, and I cut it out in different wavy shapes and put blue along the edges of that to make it look kind of like water because my aunt and my mother came to my college graduation and stayed at the Waterfront Hotel in Salem because I graduated from Salem State College. Woohoo! Go Vikings! And this is actually a coaster from the hotel that I took at the time saying, I'm going to scrapbook this, you wait and see. So, that was a fun page. I look at this paper now and I laugh because I think about the Mariposa collection, those types of papers we have now, and then I look at these cheesy balloons and I kind of cringe, but the memory's the same. There's me graduating. That's the building I graduated in. Here it has the date and the name. This is ribbon that's around here. I think I still have some of that ribbon. And these little gems. Over here, it's my family and I at graduation. All of these little circles I traced onto the pink paper because I knew I wanted pattern paper. I just didn't have access to it, so I made my own. This page is definitely photo heavy. I have 3 big pictures on here. I got a lot of stuff on there. One little piece of pattern paper with a rub-on over it, and I just traced them all in green. I added these little polka dots along the edges. It's surprising when you don't have the supplies what you can do. So maybe this will give ideas to somebody who is just starting, doesn't want to go spend a ton, and says, oh, what can I do to make my pages more interesting? Here I cut out all these hearts, these little orange hearts, and added them to the paper that just had these big polka dots on it. There's the hubby and I. We were a little closer to being the hubby and I at this point, about 4 months away. And I used little stickers that said SSC for Salem State College. Now, what's kind of nice is you have this page that's pretty photo heavy. Here we have just one photo, and then the next page is all photos with just this one little spot to say where it was. I showed the name of the restaurant and some of my family there. And then our friends had brought their daughter, so I have her name and a bunch of silly pictures I took of her that I cut out and put all together. Here are, 2 round pictures, and we kind of laugh about cutting our pictures in shapes and stuff, but I think if you make them round, it can work, because here I have this picture of the rainbow that was outside the restaurant, which I took as a good sign. But then I have, these little, almost like little windows of what was going on. Here we went to our favorite breakfast place. I made a fake little menu that I actually sort of distressed. It was probably the first thing I ever distressed. And then I made these eggs, and I filled the little yellow part with crumpled up paper so they bump up if you touch them. And that was it. I stopped there. I did not do a good job of keeping up with that album, and I wish I had done more, but I have the memories. They're there. I don't think you can scrapbook wrong. I think that as long as you're keeping your memories and you're preserving them and you make them mean something and accessible, then you're scrapbooking. I'm going to go ahead and stop and do a second video to show you the next album, which is actually from this past year, so it's much more recent. And I'm going to tell you the truth, I didn't do one in between these 2. I don't know, it wasn't really my thing. I was making cards along the way, but I've really just started to get back into it probably in the past year. So that's what I'm going to do. Our friendly kitty cat came to watch again. He seems to want to be in all my videos. Maybe he'll become a YouTube star, right, Hammy? Yeah, here he comes. Alright, catch part 2 to see my next album. Thanks. Bye.